In this video we're going to do the material for the goggles around his neck, and before we get to the glass in the middle, which is the main purpose of this video, let's quickly do this plastic on the outside. So it's got three materials on this object, which is all of these things combined. Let's go to the goggles main top, which is this dark piece over there. So hit use nodes, go into local view, shift Z, and let's see what it looks like. So this is a very simple plastic material. We're just going to add a glossy shader over there, mix these two together using some layer weight Fresnel, and that is pretty much the basics of this material. I'm just going to decrease the roughness a bit to about 0.1 and also the blend to about 0.3, so it's not quite 0.2 even, so it's not that reflective, but it's a little bit reflective, so that's fine. Okay, and let's just go ahead and copy these nodes, hitting Ctrl C. Go into the other goggles main, which is this main piece at the bottom here. Use nodes, delete that guy, paste them there, and that is our material done. Very simple plastic, and that's great. And remember, it's using the GGX distribution, which is good for plastic and skin and all that stuff, whereas Beckman is for metal. Okay, so let's go to the goggles visor, and as you can see, it's just a simple green diffuse shader by default, so let's hit Shift S to swap that out to a glass shader. Cool, done. The roughness is on 0 and everything looks cool. We could increase the brightness of this a little bit. It's going to make it a little bit more transparent as well. And as you can see, it looks kind of strange. The reason for that is because there is no thickness on this model. It's just a simple plain. So if we just extrude that inwards a little bit, and hit Ctrl L and Ctrl N to make sure the normals are facing the right way, and there's no face in the middle over here, then we can go and hit Shift Z, and you can see it's not quite as distorted. We can actually see through it, which is cool. But if you think about it, not really important, because we don't need all of this distortion, because it's so thin it isn't distorting all that much, and it's doing a lot of calculations for the internal reflections and refractions that we don't really need. So rather than using a glass shader, which will take a little bit longer to render, let's go ahead and use a glossy shader combined with a transparency shader. And this is basically building our own glass shader, but without the refraction. So we can use the layer weight over here. Actually, let's just use a Fresnel node, because we know that the IOR of glass is around 0.45. And then we add our transparency shader, which is over here. And you can see a transparency shader is literally a see-through shader. If we make it a certain color, like the green over here, copy Ctrl C and Ctrl V to paste, it's going to tint our transparency like that, which is perfect. So now we just need to mix these two together and plug in the Fresnel. And that is our glass shader done. Very simple, and it's much more efficient than using an actual glass shader, which is great. You can see we've got some reflections, and of course it's transparent. So that is it for our very simple glass material. In the next video we're going to start with the eye materials. That's getting a little bit more interesting, but using the same technique.